In this video, I'm going to do a quick overview of the MPC 2 firmware versus the MPC 3 beta firmware. Check it out! What's up? My name is Matthew Stratton with MatthewCreating.com. I like to help you create music, so if you're new here, consider subscribing. In front of me, I have my MPC 1 and I have my MPC 1 Plus. The MPC 1 has the MPC 2 firmware on it. The MPC 1 Plus has the MPC 3 beta firmware on it. So I'm going to power them on now. Keep in mind, I did factory reset them before this video. So I'm going to power them on. So I'm going to open the hip hop demo here, just so we have some sounds loaded in there. And we could take a look at the different tracks and everything. And it says I'm running the pre-release of this. This is a pre-release. This is the public beta. Just want to take a look at this. I want to open the hip hop demo on the MPC 3 beta as well. Now, first off, you can see there's some similarities and there are differences. Let's just start at the very top left corner. Okay. You can see they do the same thing, but there's a different icon. So that takes you to the menu. That's more accurate. That should take you home, but it takes you to the menu. So I can see why they changed that little icon. Not a big deal. Our MIDI in and out is right here for MIDI monitor. MIDI in and out is over onto the right there for MIDI monitor on the main mode here. This looks to be about the same. Your bar, your beat, and your ticks right there. Your time correction is right here. It looks like it's in the same spot. You got your metronome right there in the same spot. Your read and write right there. Now, there's no system resources. If you slide this thing down, it shows system resources up here. So that is a difference right there. But it is there where you can purge your samples. Purge samples does the same thing, it looks like. Basically, you have this drag down to get to your system resources, where there is your system resources. So there's different ways you can look at this. You could look at this sidebar here. You can see all these shortcuts. And you got your sidebar here with all your shortcuts. But you also have this little menu that slides out here, but you don't have that on this one. So basically, like, this is customizable. This one is customizable. But they just replaced it. Boom, put it there. So that's a main difference right there, because if you go to your menu, you can change whatever you want right here. And what I did is I put my arranger over here. But then when you do that, it twists everything around, makes everything all different. But you could do that. It makes it easier when you're in your main mode to go to your arranger, which is right there. You think if you double tap that would take you there, but it doesn't. If you double tap down here, it takes you to your grid mode, but it doesn't take you to your arranger. But you could tap over and go to your arranger there if you wanted, okay? So there are differences there. Right here, here's our sequence. Let's just start right here with this sequence. You could change through your sequences on either one, just the same. Right here's your BPM. Your BPM is here on this one, and you could change it just the same. It's the same on both of them. So you could change it to your global or sequence here. You could do the same thing here. We're missing our start and end on the side because it's down here. We got start and end. And then you got start and end, which really is helpful for here. You got your start and end points. So when you're on your arranger, you can do your start and end points, right? Start, end. And you could work on certain sections at a time. And you're able to do that over here as well. But yeah, you do have that option. It makes it a little bit easier just to drag it here. And you get a little bit of a visual. Okay, boom, there's the arranger. That's a massive difference, okay? And then you got your transpose down here still. Transpose. And you got your loop right there. See your loop right there. You also have your loop on and off right here. Okay, so the sequence section's pretty much the same on both. It's just things are rearranged a little bit differently. Now, where you get differences, big differences, is the track section, because you have a track section here, a track section here, and it's a lot bigger on MPC 3 beta. So in the track section here, you can select your different program types right here. and then you could select your program here. You're not able to select a different program on here. Like, there's no actual way to change that hip hop kit, right? There's nothing. Like, I don't even know. Like, this is the track, but I really don't even know what kit I have loaded. If you look at that, right here, I have this kit loaded. Like, there's no feedback on what kit it actually is. So that's a difference. You could change your program type here, but it's way different than changing your program type here. So if you change your program here, you can still select your different plugins. Like, you could add plugins. You can select different things, different programs right here. Where here, you can't select any program. You could change it here, like if you want a key group, but then you got to load up a key group. Where, you know, here you got a key group program. You still have to load up a key group, but at the same time, it's way different because if I had a bunch of key groups in here, I'd be able to select from the different key groups. Now, all the information on the side here is at the bottom here. So it looks like you still have that same information, even maybe a little bit more, because you got this layer section here. All right, so you got right here, this is where you change your track. Right here, this is where you change the track. You have an arrangement here. You can see your arrangement here. Here, you can't see it here. You go to your grid, then you can see it, right? That's like tapping in here. You can see everything in here. You can see it here too, right? But it does seem to give you a little bit more information on this. All right, so you can see this is the grid mode. This is the grid mode. You get a little bit more information on the side with the grid mode here, where it just shows the pads over here. But yeah, that's that. You think you would be able to go to the arranger from here. You can't. You can start it. All right, that's the new main mode interface. I want to get through this. So you got the linear arranger now. So if we go to the arranger, here's your linear arranger. It's not very exciting when it's only one track, but it does work pretty well. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. I pulled in a track from my MPC2 and loaded it into MPC3 and was able to add on to it, and it worked really well. So let me know if you have any questions about the arranger. Like, what are your specific questions? Because, like, edit here is kind of like edit over here, right? You got your copy bars, copy sequence, copy events. You got all the same things available to you. See? So the same options in the main mode on the sequence here are in your arranger over here in edit. And now that's how you're going to be able to, like, if you wanted to copy just this section and then put it over here, you could put that section anywhere you want. Or if you want to make bars into here, you can insert bars wherever you want. Say you want bars right here after 4, do it. You got an empty bar right there. So this is your arranger in short. We got a full color track and pad mixer now. So let's go to track mix. Boom, fully colored right there. You can see everything right there. You got your volume, you got your pans, so you can pan everything right here. You got your sends, you got your effects per channel right here. You got your in and out, so you can select what's coming in, and you can see all ports. So if I hooked up a keyboard into it, it would accept the MIDI from that. You got your settings right there, but that's the full color mixer right there. You can do your pad mixer if you double tap into there. Here's your pad mixer. So you can set the level, say you want that lower, turn it down. Higher, turn it way up. So it's interesting behavior because you have 8 tracks or 8 pads on here at a time, depending on what you're looking at. Right now, I'm looking at the pads. So I have 8 at a time on here. So that's these first 8, and then you can go to your next ones right here. Now on here, here's your track mixer. So let's go back to track mixer. Big difference. Track mixer, track mixer. All right, you still have your pans, your mutes, your sends, your inserts, your routing. Level here is volume here, right? So there's your level on both. Now, if you look, this is mixing your programs, and over here, there's no like, okay, this is programs, this is audio tracks. You can see an audio track is sitting right next to a program. So it's way different here, and you can add whatever or what you want. Like if you want a plugin, you can add your plugin right there. So you have that ability right there. That's quick workflow right here. But over here is a little bit different. You can't just add a program like that. So potentially these are workflow improvements. It's going to make you be able to add tracks easily. Now, I don't think you can change the order of these tracks. Speaking of order things, if you open your effects here, you could change the order of your effects. I'm just putting a random effect. But you can see right here, I could put this down, put it up. So that's new in 3.0. You can't do that over here. Like if you put an effect in, there's no arrows right there where you could change it here. So that's a big difference. That's going to help workflow, which brings us to the next topic, new XL channel strip. This is the new XL channel strip. You can see you got your level here, which is basically this is kind of like this right here, but all up into one. So you got your level, your effects, sends, your level, your effects. So you can add 4 effects, your sends, so you can send this signal out, and then you have your in and out. Again, it's the MIDI coming in. Since it's set to all, it's going to be triggered by any MIDI coming in. And then you got your audio outputs, so that selects which outputs it's going through. Since this is set up here, I got only the main outs, but I have been using my Volt with this. So just so you know, my Volt, this right here, the Volt 476P, I've been using this successfully with the MPC3 beta. So I'm able to record guitar directly in, or microphone directly in, anything I want directly into the MPC with that audio interface. So that works perfectly fine. One-to-one track workflow, I believe, is basically what I was showing you. Let's get these off of here. It's basically this particular program is on this track, and it's only on that track. I think that's what it means to one-to-one workflow. So you got disk streaming, you got advanced automation, which is you could actually automate a bunch of stuff now. As far as right there, you got automations right here on your outputs, it looks like. Let me know if this is correct, but it looks like you can write automation on your outputs. So you get your advanced automation in that regard. That's advanced compared to here, where if you go to your mixer, if you look at your submixes, your returns, there's no automation. Your main, there's no automation. But if you go to your audio tracks, you got automation. Your programs, you got automation. But if you go to your returns, your submixes, none of that has automation. But over here, you know, like that's your main output, and you got automation right there. You could write and read. That's a big difference. Your read and write automation on your outputs right here. We got Q-Link and XY pad macro controls. All right, let's close this for a second. Now, I do want to mention, because I am talking about how you can have one program over here on multiple tracks. You could duplicate your program. Boom. So basically, you're duplicating that track with the same program. So you do have that, and you also still have right here explode track, so you can explode that track out. You're still able to explode that track. You can see right here the beat. Here's the original. See, it even mutes the original. But if you go over here, you got your kick, your snare, your hi-hat. So you exploded your track, but it still sounds the same whenever you play it. So you still have the explode track feature. Let's undo that. I just want to show you this. If I go to menu, preferences, this is 3.4 beta. I can activate certain plugins right here. I signed in. I was able to activate all my plugins. So as you can see right here, here's all my activations. I had to actually sign in to use the MPC 3 beta. You know, we have all these plugins we could still use. And you can see MPC 3 beta. But we can add a plugin track if we wanted. Boom. Select 2 synth. Whatever we want. Mini D, let's say. So this is Mini D. So if we go to program edit, you can see it right there. So you got the same plugin capability. You got certain things like direct to pad sampling, which is in here. If you put another drum program right there, you could browse for a sample, or you could record right there directly to that pad, which is really cool. Full color drum grid. I mean, if you look at these, I think it's talking about the actual grid. So I'll put my grid back over here. Boom, go to grid view. Now, like I was saying earlier, it doesn't look that crazy different to me, other than this is colored here. 8 sample layers. So if you go to your program editor, samples, you can have 8 of these. It's crazy to think about. Sample layer 1 through 4, sample layer 5 through 8. Where over here, you only get sample layer 1 through 4. See, bam. That is awesome. 4 sample layers, 8 sample layers. Both could do stem standalone. Somewhere in here it says stems right there. MPC stem separation. MPC stem separation. So you could do stems on both 2 and 3. You can import projects onto MPC 3 that came from MPC 2. I did that. I can show you that. Browse. Places. MPC. Projects 2024. All right, so I am going to erase the demo out of the memory, put in this project, and you can see I made this one sequence longer so I could use the actual arranger here. So if you missed that video, I'm going to go ahead and link that video. I made a video where I made the core of that beat. So yeah, you got that. And then if you look in here, you can see the sample right there. So I got the break right there on the audio track. In the comments below, go ahead and let me know what you like about the new update, what you dislike. If you're going to upgrade, if you're going to stay to the current MPC 2, or if you're going to upgrade to 3, let me know in the comments. My name is Matthew. Check out more MPC videos right over here. Continue creating music, and we'll talk soon. Peace.